How to make $100,000 in your first year in selling real estate. For some, that might sound like something that's near impossible, but believe me, I've seen it done before and I know it can be done. So when you're starting out in real estate, you've got a few problems going for you when you get going. Yeah, you got your license, that's great. You're allowed to trade real estate and you're allowed to start earning money in the real estate industry. But the few problems that you're facing is that, number one, obviously, you don't have any clients or very few clients when you're starting out, and that's okay. Number two is that you don't have a day-to-day plan on what to do in order to achieve a number like $100,000 in gross commission income. So what I'm going to help you guys do today is break down that number of $100,000 in gross commission income into how many appointments you need to set throughout the year. And hopefully we can break it down even further into what you need to do on a day in, day out basis in order to make it impossible for you not to achieve that goal. So let's look at the spreadsheet that I've built here today. And before we go any further, this is available to you at no charge. You can click on the link in the description of this video and you can actually download this spreadsheet. All right, so I put in the number of $100,000 because that's the title of this video. But like I said, you guys are able to download this spreadsheet and input numbers that you want to achieve. For some of you, the $100,000 might not be enough. You might want to put $200,000. And for some of you, maybe real estate is a part-time gig. You're doing this as a second career and you're okay with it taking a bit more time. So maybe 60, 70,000, whatever that number is, you can plug it in and get the answers you're looking for. So the second number we need to input in this spreadsheet is the average price of homes. Now this number, 340,400, is not a number that I pulled, off the top of my head. It is actually the average home price for all of the United States. So I got that number from the NAR website, and I thought it was a good benchmark to use today. I know in some market centers, prices are a bit lower than this, and in some others, prices are a lot higher than this. So just use whatever your area has for an average price. And one more thing on that topic, if you're starting out in the industry, specifically if you're younger, let's say, you start as young as I did in real estate. I was 20 years old. And when I started, my friends were buying real estate, but they were obviously buying the lower end, right? The first-time home buyer properties. So if the average price range in your area is $280,000 and you're starting out in the industry, it's not a bad idea to plug into this spreadsheet maybe a number that's 15, 20% lower than what the average price range is in your area. All right, enough on that subject. Next one is the average commission rate. That's the average commission rate per side, right? If you're listing a house for 5% and you're cooperating at 2.5% to the co-op broker, then obviously there we would have 2.5%. I know commission is different for every agent, every area, every deal. So let's use an average here of 2%. I think that's a good benchmark. That's a good starting point. So we also want to look at how many percentage or what percentage of that total $100,000 will be generated from working with buyers and what percentage will be generated from working with sellers. So I've split it down here 50-50. If you're new in the industry, you might not have the tools yet to go get a bunch of listing, and you might want to put this ratio here 75-25. But whatever you put in these two boxes here has to add up to 100%, right? Hypothetically, we could create another box here for maybe leases, representing landlords and tenants, but let's not focus on that today, okay? So 50-50 from buyers to sellers. So if we go down the line here, let me zoom in for you. 50% of 100,000 is 50,000. What is the average prices of homes selling in your area? We have 344, that's copied from up above. The spreadsheet does it all automatically for you guys. What's the average commission? Again, pulling a number from above, 2%. So average commission of $6,886. So assuming you have a split with your team of 100%, then you get to keep all of your commission, meaning that you're going to have 7 transactions throughout the year in order to make $50,000 on the buying side. So we can start to see by reverse engineering these numbers, it's becoming a lot more concrete, and it's collapsing all of the possibilities of how you can make $100,000 into the number of transactions that you need to do. So for me, whenever I look at this number, it's giving me confidence to be wanting to go out there and make more transactions, because I'm like, wow, this is really not that many transactions. And if we break it down even further here, we're going to look at how many committed buyers you'll need to have in order to make one transaction happen. What do I mean by that is that how many buyer agencies are you going to have to sign? How many committed buyers are you going to have to be working with in order to do one transaction? So here I'm using the ratio of 40%. So for every 10 buyers that you have committed to you, 4 of them will end up finding a property. And that's important because in today's market, there's definitely a lot less inventory. Sitting February 2021, we do have an inventory shortage. So unfortunately, not all buyers will be able to find properties. It's just the nature of the market right now. So I'm using 40%. You might end up doing a lot more than 40%. You might be able to transact with 60% of your committed buyers, and that's great. But why not put the number a bit lower so that you're putting in a bit more effort so that you make it impossible for you not to achieve these goals. And if everything goes better than expected, you'll end up making more than that target of $100,000. The next one here is, how many committed buyers are you going to end up getting? The answer is 18. And if you have 18 committed buyers, 7 of them will end up transacting. How many buyer appointments do you need to go on in order to get to 18 committed buyers? So we're going to use the percentage here of 60%. So that means that for every 10 initial buyer consultations that you go on, 60% of them will want to work with you and you'll want to work with them. And this number might end up being higher if you're doing a repeat and referral type of business. I know you're starting in the industry, so you're not doing a lot of repeat business. I understand that. But if you're doing a lot of online lead generation, and nothing against that, definitely not. It's just the type of lead that's going to come in with the online lead generation is not going to be as warm. It's not going to be as committed to working with you. But if you do a referral business, then obviously this number here might not be 60%. It could be 80%. And I'm going to put 80% here just so you guys can see. So if we do 80%, so then we saw that number drop from 30 appointments needed in the entire year to 23. So we can see how that breaks down and it makes it more simple and more achievable for you. And we're going to do the same thing for the listing side. All the same metrics, all the same average price range, all the same average commission, and obviously the same scenario with the team. And the number of listings sold, you'll need 7, obviously, because it's the same commission, it's the same market. And how many listings will you sell for every 10 that you list? I put it at 8 right now. In different types of markets, maybe in 2-3 years, we'll find ourselves in a buyer's market, and your list to sold ratio will probably be a bit lower at that moment, where not every single property that you list will sell. But here we're going to use 80% because properties are selling well for the most part throughout North America right now. Could be different in your market center. I'm not sure where you guys are from if you're watching this video. Listing appointments needed. Well, how many appointments do you need to go on in order to get one listing? Well, here we're using a ratio of for every 10 appointment you go on, you'll sign 4 of them. And that's how we get listing appointments needed, 23. Look at that. So 46 appointments, that's pretty much all you'll need in order to achieve that goal of $100,000. And that's less than 1 per week. Assuming that you want to take a few weeks off throughout the year, I think you should definitely do that. I think that our industry, it prides itself on working hard, working all the time. But you're human also, and you have a family, you have friends, book some time off. And that number here of 46 appointments is definitely doable if you're working for 48 weeks of the year or 50 weeks. Now, the other problem that you have is that you don't have clients or prospects. So what I'm going to do is when you click on that link for the breakdown of how many appointments you'll need, you'll also get 5 free videos from me, and there'll be 5 different ways to generate leads. And these are my 5 favorite ways to generate leads, and they're 5 ways that will give you quality clients. They'll give you clients that convert at a higher rate. So like I said, description below, if you click on that link, you'll be able to get this spreadsheet for free and also 5 different ways to generate leads. So I hope that it makes things a bit clearer for you guys. And like I said, if your goal is anywhere, if it's different than this 100,000, download the spreadsheet, plug in the numbers and see what you get, and use those lead generation tactics to go out and generate some more clients. I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. It's an absolute pleasure for me putting these together and helping you grow your real estate business. It really helps me out a lot if you leave a like button. If you find this useful, share it with your friends. That would be tremendous. If you want, leave a comment in the section down below. There's a very good community of agents looking to better their business that's forming around this channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel for a new video every single week. All right, I'll see you later. Ciao.